Mediation. No one's out to get you.
Well, Johnny's out to get me.
Well, they lay both sides of the story and they'll laugh him out of the room.
Yeah, you already look reasonable just agreeing to attend.
Thank you so much for going through everything with me last night.
Hey, I'll put the invoice in the post. Remember what I said? You gotta be like Fonzie in there.
Hey, give her a if she pukes on your shoulder, we're in trouble, aren't we? Come on.
If he comes after me, I swear to God. Right. See you later.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
It's a complete waste of time. Give me a courtroom with a judge.
Johnny, just play along and play nice.
Yeah, once I know what she's been up to, it'll all be over.
She hasn't got a leg to stand on.
Come on, we don't want her getting there first, do we?
Have you got that somewhere safe?
You'd best look after it. Only deploy that if you have to, okay? Remember, that's your easy space.
Another grueling day at City Hall, I see.
We're all entitled to an afternoon off once in a while.
Hey, what's the word on Sally?
I don't trade in idle gossip.
Do you think she was in on it?
Well, I did see them together on the street yesterday.
And?
The man was like an octopus. He had his hands all over her. Lord knows what her husband will make of it.
Well, she has got form.
But I really couldn't speculate.
Did you bring in those hot boxes?
You asked me to, didn't you?
Doesn't mean you've done it. It usually means that you haven't done it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do I not carry out your orders quickly enough?
Well, believe it or not, it's part of your job doing what you're told.
Yeah, and I told you they're in the back.
You know what you two sound like? A married couple.
What, arguing over hot boxes? Yeah, very romantic.
Marriage isn't about romance. That's why fairy tales end at the wedding.
What, so it's all downhill from there?
The minute vows are exchanged, gravity takes over.
Slippers have arrived.
Oh.
Well, it's done. I've handed in my resignation, cleaned out my desk. It was all very discreet, as you can imagine.
Good, because I did think...
Cast of Ben-Hur gathered round to watch, including the reporter from that rag. So brace yourselves for tomorrow's headlines, because I'm the scandal. After everything I've done for this town.
Oh, come on, love.
I always knew it was going to end in disgrace. Everything always does when I'm involved.
No, shh, that's not true.
I wonder which photo they're going to use of me. I hope they use that nice one of me on the town hall steps with the green dress and the knee-high boots.
She's fast asleep. I wonder how her mum's getting on.
Can't be late tonight.
I know I can't.
No, I'm serious. No excuses.
I'm not going to mess it up, all right? This is water, and I've been clean for... Just stop stressing me out. They'll see that I can cope.
I know they will.
Well, I've got to get back to work. See you later.
Do you think she'll come through with the money?
Maybe she'll take out a loan. She can stand on street corners for all I care, as long as she pays me by Friday.
3,000 pairs of knickers. It's like the worst ever prize on a game show.
Dunno, you wouldn't have to put a wash on for a decade.
You'd need one hell of a machine, though.
So, Gina? Girls? Come in. Thank you.
So we're obviously here today to discuss the future care of Susie Price.
Custody, we're here to discuss custody.
Okay. So I understand it was you that set all this in motion.
I was happy to let him see her before he started playing dirty.
You think I play dirty? You tried to give my son's child away, and I'm the one who's playing dirty.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. Are we supposed to get straight into this?
You do know what she did, I take it. I mean, it must be in your notes. Maybe you'd like to tell us what you think of her behaviour.
I'd rather hear from you. Perhaps you'd like to start by outlining your position? If that's all right with you.
Yeah, go for it.
OK, I'll outline my position.
Our position.
Our position. Well, I don't really know where to start. I mean, she got pregnant, obviously, but then she didn't tell anybody.
Am I allowed to jump in?
If we just do it one at a time.
Meanwhile, her sister wants a baby. She can't have kids. So between them, they hatch a little plan. Her sister's got a surrogate lined up, you see. Only that all fell through.
When he says it fell through, the surrogate lost the baby.
Yeah, so Goldilocks here decides that the best course of action is to pretend that her baby, the one that nobody knows about,
Not
remember,
quite true.
was in fact the surrogate's.
And they're keeping all of this from her brother-in-law.
Peter, who still thinks that the surrogate's having their kid.
Right. And your sister's called?
Toya. She's my half-sister's stepsister, if you know what I mean.
That kind of family. So she goes off and has her baby, and we're all in the dark. I was in the pub, in fact, with Aidan, when Peter comes through and breaks the news, I'm a dad. Congratulations all round. Next thing you know, Toya comes back with the baby, while this one pretends that she's in America on some kind of beauty course. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're right.
But a couple of weeks in, they lose their nerve.
Right. So what happened?
Well, what happened?
Yeah, my son killed himself. That's what happened. So, there you go.
I'm very sorry.
Sure. We're all sorry. But I can't help thinking that he might still be with us if this conniving, deceitful...
Johnny.
If Eva had been up front with him from the off, with everybody, I can't help thinking that I might not have found him dead if he'd have known that this one was carrying his child. I ask you, what kind of person does a thing like that? What kind of person would go out their way to produce that?
Where did you get that?
Mother, Jacqueline Ainsworth. Father, Peter Barlow. Baby, my sons. My own flesh and blood. And she gave her away like she was a bag of old clothes to the jumble. In what world, I say to you, is she fit to raise my son's child?
So I just need a few more hours.
I'd love to help you out, I really would, especially in the circumstances, but like I say, I can't even afford to pay their overtime.
What are you going to do?
Honestly, I'm just fronting it out and hoping for a miracle.
Who else do you owe?
I have a stock in Dolmans.
Wait till the invoices are almost overdue and then get in touch with Vanessa at Heavy Elastics and ask her why you haven't received one. She's going to assume it's her fault and you'll get another 4 weeks to pay up.
Vanessa?
Yeah, she's been there 400 years. Should have put her out to pasture long ago.
What about Dolmans?
Firstly, thank you for giving me the chance to defend myself. And for what it's worth, Aidan did know that I was pregnant, but he didn't believe me.
Tell her why.
Because some time ago, when we were going to get married, I told him that I was pregnant when I wasn't. I wanted to punish him, and it was stupid.
Worse than stupid.
So this time, when I was pregnant, he didn't believe me, which serves me right. I'll be honest, I didn't want to raise a baby on my own. I was scared, and I was upset, and I was planning a termination.
So that's what she thought of Susie in the first place. Zap.
But as Johnny explained, there was a situation with my sister and her surrogate. She was absolutely desperate for a baby. And I felt uneasy. Sorry, not uneasy. I felt confused about mine. So we came to an arrangement, which we both realised was completely absurd. And Aidan's suicide had a lot to do with that, with us both coming to our senses. But it is not the reason that he killed himself.
What grounds have you got for saying that?
Johnny, we've been through this. You know the grounds. Aidan came to see me. Is this even relevant? He came to see me and he wished me well. And I honestly believe that at this time, Aidan knew that Susie was his baby and he knew that she would be looked after and he didn't judge me.
This is crazy. I mean, she can say what she likes. Nobody can prove it. We're all guessing.
There's something else I'd like to say. Giving your baby away is so hard. Whether you want that baby or not, it is the hardest thing you will ever do. But I honestly believed that at that time I was doing the right thing.
Defend this.
I regretted the decision almost immediately. But for Peter and Toya's sake, I didn't say anything because they had my word and they had my baby. I had her registered the day after she was born. It was Toya that produced the fake document. We didn't do anything with it and we should have destroyed it. I've absolutely no idea how we came to have it.
Well, it's not the first document that she's faked. She got her other boyfriend to forge a DNA test saying that he was the father and not Aidan.
I had nothing to do with that and I asked for it to be destroyed.
Can you see a pattern emerging?
I am here now for Susie and I was more than willing to allow Johnny access.
So you're not prepared to allow Mr. and Mrs. Connor to spend time with her now?
You mean to give them access?
Custody, I want, not access.
But access would be something.
I was more than willing to do that.
The little mite's in danger. Can you not see that? She's faking birth certificates, lying, cheating, planning abortions one minute and dropping it on her head the next.
She slid off the sofa. And I'm not being funny, but I don't think I'd be entirely comfortable leaving her alone with him. Not to mention this one.
Why is that?
Well, maybe you'd like to explain, Jenny. You know, with what happened with your ex's little boy. I'd hate to misrepresent you.
Does it all be late for engineering?
No, we've still got 15 minutes yet.
Wait, is that Mr. Fitzgerald, the new teaching assistant?
He is well fit.
Could you do it yourself? Big, strong lad like you.
Well, I could, but I didn't want to risk it. I have to drop a load of year 10s up to Huff End at 4 o'clock, so...
Oh, well, leave it with me.
Would you have to get straight on it, or...?
Well, I was supposed to be leaving early today, but... Oh, give me an hour.
Oh, the locking wheel nut key. It's in the glove compartment. Cheers.
It was a dark time, that can't be denied. But it shouldn't mean that I'm incapable of looking after another child.
Well, as far as alarm bells go, they're ringing pretty loudly to me.
My son died.
Which is a terrible thing, and I am really sorry. But this, what happened with Jack, this mental breakdown, or whatever you want to call it, the fact remains that... I mean, would you leave your children with her? This is a woman who not that many years ago was stood on a balcony in a wig with her ex's child threatening to jump off. Because I don't think I would.
Nice of her to keep you on.
Was there an edge to that, Beck? Because I'd rather we all spoke our minds.
Well, you've not exactly covered yourself in glory, have you?
No, but you know what I did do? I went out there and I tried to make a difference. And I won't die wondering. Will you?
You're supposed to be a mate.
Look, I've got no excuses. I've made some mistakes. Somebody took advantage of me and I didn't see it coming.
Be honest, Sal. Were you and him?
No, of course not.
Brian Packham said you was all over each other in broad daylight yesterday.
He said what?
Come on, we wouldn't tell anyone.
It was a charity in the name of his wife who had a stroke and I just got suckered into it and that's all I'm guilty of.
Clearly, both parties want different things.
Well, no, both parties want the same thing, my baby.
And you're not prepared to discuss the possibility of contact alone.
Custody. I don't want contact. I want custody.
I mean, he's reading comics if he thinks I'm handing my daughter over. We're wasting our time. He's not got a case, has he?
I'm going to suggest that Susie stays where she is for the time being.
For the time being?
You'll hear from my solicitor. I'm taking you to court.
Which court's that? A tennis court? Because they're not going to let you near a court of law. Johnny, you don't have a case. She is my child and she's staying with me.
Not if I've got anything to do with it. You might have taken my son off me, but you're not taking my granddaughter as well.
I am sorry that Aidan is dead, OK? I really am. I'm sorry, but it was not my fault.
Then whose fault was it?
I don't know, Johnny!
Elizabeth Moriarty asked me to photocopy some paperwork this morning, like I was her own personal slave. Like this. Completely dismissive.
If only we had our own little business. Oh, I've always fancied running a shop.
There is that empty unit round the corner.
What would we sell?
What are we lacking round here? Don't let me forget that new letterbox. I'll have to go all the way to the DIY superstore off the ring road.
What a pain.
Are you going to tell us what the matter is, or are we supposed to guess?
Mine's just the same, mate.
She's not mine.
Not his.
You nearly done?
Yeah, that one's Steve's. Yeah, I'll mark it up for you.
All right, so I know which is Steve's. How will I know which is mine?
Do you want me to put a T on it?
I'm pulling your leg, man.
Right, I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Are you going to sit there with a face on all day? You haven't done a thing. Has someone died?
No.
So what is it?
Just leave me alone, yeah?
What about a fancy dress shop? They're always in obscure little places.
It's a ridiculous suggestion. When was the last time you urgently needed fancy dress?
Flora's party.
There was an hole in my bucket. It was like a race against the clock.
Oh, well, if you're going to buy a new one, could you get us a yard brush and all? Ours is in a white state.
Well, that reminds me. I have to mow the lawn this weekend. Anywhere around here sell extension leads?
Well, there's nothing around here, I'm afraid. You'll have to go to the DIY superstore on the ring road.
I've got it.
What?
We could open a fishmonger's.
Look, I know you're upset. For whatever reasons, you're not telling me. But that doesn't mean you can help yourself to all the chips.
Well, sack me then.
I might have to.
Well, go on then.
I'll give you a verbal warning. I'm serious. One more chip, and I'll give you a verbal warning.
So is that not a verbal warning then, since it's verbal and you're warning me?
Yes, but it's not official.
So what makes it official?
Me saying it's official.
So tell me it's official.
What's the matter with you?
You won't understand.
I'm your friend.
Thought you were my boss.
I'm your friend and your boss.
Do you know what I found out today?
Because you're not telling me. Hey, I'm on your side.
Are you?
What's happened? What did you see on your phone that made you so upset?
Henry Newton's got engaged.
You are kidding me.
Right, better get this letterbox replaced. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
A hardware store.
Sorry?
We could open a hardware store. Leanne wanted a bucket. Toya wanted a brush, us with our letterbox, and your man at the bar wanted an extension lead. That's just the people in the pub. Nobody wants to go all the way to the superstore on the ring road.
Kathy, you are a genius.
Why? What were you going to suggest?
Lunch.
I'm sorry. Best we can hope for now is access. We should concentrate on that.
Why's that? Why's access the best that we can hope for?
They were never going to take a baby off its mother.
Because of you. You're the reason. I could have custody if I wasn't married to you.
And you think you'd cope, do you? Without me?
Without your track record, yeah.
It didn't make any difference.
Don't you think?
This wasn't about me. The baby's best off where she is.
And so is Aiden.
I have never said that. That isn't fair.
Were you ever on my side?
Of course I was.
Was all this just a big inconvenience to you?
No.
You wish you're in Spain, don't you? Lying on a beach. I should have sent you on your way.
I had to sit in a room and talk a stranger through the worst moments of my life.
Oh, boo-hoo!
I lost my son.
Yes, so did I! In case you hadn't noticed!
Well, how could I not notice? It's all we ever talk about. Our entire lives put on hold because of it.
Well, what do you expect me to do?
You chase around after a baby that you know full well you couldn't take care of. Because you're old, and you're ill, and you're deluded.
You...
What are you going to do? Hit me? Is that how low you've sunk? Well, come on then, tough guy. Give it everything you've got.
And we'll be back to the street tonight at the later time of 9:30.